Welcome back to Two Marks and a Spark. Me and Uncle Russ just watched about 14 hours of wrestling this weekend. And no, I'm not kidding.
A lot. My brain is tired from all the wrestling.
We're going to do this in the order in which these shows happened. There is some overlap here. Don't worry. We will sort it all out. Russ, we're going to start with AEW All In. Before the show went on the air, I mean, right before it was announced that Adam Cole was off the show and there would be a four-way for the TNT title that had been vacated. No interim title. They just They vacated it.
Yep.
Um, we're going to talk about Adam Cole later because we would come to learn later that this was perhaps a little more serious than I think any of us thought when Tony Khan announced it on Twitter. But um, I'm going to let you talk about the pre-show a little bit because you actually watched the damn thing. I did not.
Right. Well, we
Uh,
had started off with a three-way. They had the tag match with the Sons of Texas with the Von Erichs, who also came out with their dad, Kevin Von Erich, who now is an official member of AEW, and also Shane Taylor Productions. This was a pretty good match. Dustin's boys were out there for part of it, but the Sons of Texas won that one, which was a good way to warm up the crowd because they're in Arlington, Texas. Uh, there was a match with, let's see, we had Lance Archer, uh, Hechicero,
Hechicero,
RPG
yeah.
Vice. Then we had on the other side Hologram. We had Tomohiro Ishii. We had Big Boom AJ and Kyle O'Reilly, and Big Boom AJ had the two kids that are
Oh,
with
and
him.
Hologram. Don't forget about Hologram. He was in the
And
match.
Hologram was with this group also. So this was kind of a big schmoz, and during part of this, uh, the best part of this was where not the little kid they call the Rizzler, but the other one, the other kid that
I
belongs
don't know
with
his
the
name.
Big Boom AJ. Uh, he got knocked on his ass by Trent Beretta. Some people thought that wasn't appropriate, and I thought, yes, Trent, you're doing God's work on behalf of all of us fans. Now wrap him up and throw him in the back of your mom's van. Hey, anyway, the good guys won that one, and Big
As
Boom
if
AJ.
anybody cared at that point. I,
Well, apparently he's got a pretty good following. But the third match in the 0 hour was quite good, and the FTR defeated the Outrunners. But these two teams continued to have some very very good matches. So this was the perfect one to right before the official start to warm up the crowd. It was far and away the best match of the three.
Now, it is worth noting this was, if you included the pre show, the longest wrestling show in the history of the world. I'm not kidding.
Right, you're talking about about 7 hours, maybe just a couple of minutes over.
No, it was 8 hours with the pre show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, this is crazy. But it was a good show. It was better than I expected it to be. It didn't feel as draining as it should have been. It was quite
The
well done
the
overall.
actual show went on the air at 2 o'clock Central. And oh my God, this show went on forever. This was a very good show. I will say that this show went on forever, but it was very good and the crowd was into the whole thing. Anyway, it started with a World Trios title match, Death Riders versus the Ops. This would be the beginning of a very bad night for the Death Riders. Um, they had a bad day at the office, all of them.
Yes, they sure did. They sure did.
The
My,
Ops
my
with
wife kept asking me who Wheeler Yuta was. Who's the guy with the hair growing over his eyes, and we both decided that he reminds us of the version of Billy Kidman when he was in Raven's Flock and he stopped cutting his hair and bathing and shit. So we're going to start calling Wheeler Yuta. We're going to start calling him Raven's Flock Billy Kidman version 2.0. And the ops. Like I said, it
This
was a bad night for the Death Riders.
they will get some course of revenge post match as the Ops would retain the title off a muscle buster from Samoa Joe, and then they would proceed to break Joe's neck.
Yeah, that was very bad form, bad sportsmanship all around. Hate to see that in wrestling.
All too common, isn't it? Speaking of bad sportsmanship, we'd have the Casino Gauntlet match next, where really we only got one big surprise out of this whole thing, and that's that Juice Robinson and the Guns came back. No sign of Jay White, although I have a
Right,
feeling he's still hurt.
right.
So
I hadn't seen Juice Robinson with a beard in so long that I totally didn't recognize him at all. And
it,
until then, I seen his eyes, and I thought, "Oh, that's Hard Rock Juice." And there was at least about 14 to 50 guys that came into this, and I couldn't keep track of all the names.
I
But
didn't keep track either.
hey, as far as the entrances, can I say, like I said, it was a great show, but I find the entrance music of Mystico a little a little bit annoying, actually.
What's funny is he's having a great year, and
Yes,
CMLL's
yeah.
having a
That's
really good year
obviously
right now.
that must be his theme song, but it sounds like something that was written about 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this match went on for 35 minutes
Yeah. It was nice to see
forever.
the Guns come back.
Well, it ends with MJF pinning Roderick Strong. MJF gets the world title match. I presume it all out. Could be sooner. Who knows?
Right.
We then moved into a giant fucking crash out this show would have that would do some detrimental damage to the crowd for a while. Because after this, everybody already knew at this point that Adam Cole was out. They ran the video package for the four-way, and then Adam Cole came out. And the next 7 minutes were really fucking depressing because Adam Cole comes out and basically says, "Hey, look, this might be the last time you see me. I don't know." And
Very possible, they thought. And heard that this had to do with concussion protocols.
yeah, this was a concussion thing, and I saw the clip of where he got this most recent concussion. It was rough. He landed full weight on his head. So, um, all the best to Adam Cole. He laid the title in the middle of the ring. Uh, Paragon all came out. They hit the Undisputed Era pose at the top of the ramp one last time. Daniel Garcia came out, and that was that. And we would get into Daniel Garcia, Dustin Rhodes, Kyle Fletcher, and Sammy Guevara for the TNT title that is now vacant.
I like this match. I thought this was very well done. I thought all four of them looked really good. And
I
I love the ending of it. I felt like it was overdue. Somebody that I've been a fan of for years.
Dustin Rhodes had not won a singles title since 19, what was it, 99?
Yeah, it's been a long, long time.
Because he never won one in TNA. He
No,
didn't win one when he went back to WWE the last time.
no.
He had the
It might
million
have,
dollar
it
title,
might
but
have been
that's
a singles title. It might have been
99.
it might have been one of his last runs as Gold Dust then.
Because him and Cody won the tag titles from the Shield a whole bunch of years ago, but that was a while
Right,
ago now.
right. He also had a brief tag team run with Booker T that was actually a lot of fun.
That was before that, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's several years before that, was it not? But anyway,
Dustin wins,
I enjoyed and like I said, that was also another good Texas moment.
and all the credit in the world to him and Sammy Guevara for working two matches. Granted, they were about 2 hours apart, but they worked two matches on this show.
Right.
Um,
Well, the ring was full up at the beginning in the pre-show. I was explaining to my wife. She said, "Who are?" I said, "That's all the kids and the aunts and uncles. That's the Von Erich family and the Rose family, and then some guy named Sammy Guevara. He's just hanging on there. They just let him hang up there anyway."
Sammy Guevara still looks like a douchebag after all this time.
Well, that's the thing, he seems to me with a slappable face like that, it seems kind of a waste to have him try to be a baby face.
But they kind of teased that he might turn on Dustin after the match because he
I,
kind of sat there
but
looking.
that's something they could go somewhere with that. That actually might be a pretty good feud.
Because did you see Sammy's face when Dustin won? He was like, "What the fuck?
That's right. Yep. That's
What are you
right.
doing?" He looked at him like, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
He's like, "I'm winning the match. God damn it." Anyway, Dustin wins. The crowd got excited for that, but they were dead for pretty much the whole match because they were just so freaking sad after the Adam Cole thing. And that
Right.
really took the life out of the building for a good half hour.
Another thing to make note of during this match and the previous match with the Gauntlet match is uh, I think that when he does a little guest commentary that he doesn't talk a lot, but MVP always contributes something interesting on commentary. I enjoy that. I not he's always been a good talker.
Yeah, MVP is great on commentary. Um, we then got to Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay against the Young Bucks. This match was fucking great, especially for the fact that it was a Young Bucks match. The surprise here was I thought for sure the Young Bucks were winning this match. Um,
I had a feeling that they were going to lose it because I had a feeling like maybe they want to go away for a little while, lay low, and take some time off.
no, the reason I thought they were going to win is because, and this was my legitimate thinking, was if they're going to do Hangman winning the title, it does not make any sense to have two of his top contenders also be baby faces. That does not make any sense.
Right.
So either they're going to turn one or both of these guys heel. I don't think they can turn Osprey. I don't think that would work. You're gonna maybe have to turn Swerve, and even then, I don't know how you do it. Those
Especially
guys are
because they the way they're pushing him in the story in regards with the cowboy.
so Swerve and Will get the win. This is a great match. It was a little shorter than I expected. It was only 25, almost 26 minutes.
Right.
We then got the women's casino gauntlet match.
I made
This
note of the signs. I made note of a sign too. At some point, there was a sign that I don't know if you caught it, but it said that if Hangman won the title, that he would be the first cowboy in Dallas that had been a champion since 19 what is
90,
it 86?
96. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funny.
I meant 96. Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty clever. 90.
Um,
Yeah,
I want to point out here that all the credit in the world to Osprey, Swerve, and the Young Bucks for getting the crowd back because the crowd after the Adam Cole promo was deflated. I
yes,
mean, they had to drag that crowd back into this show.
they did a very good job of it.
The women's casino gauntlet match was not as good as the men's match. I didn't think. Um,
And again, there were so many names. I gave up trying to write them all down.
it was
some
nice to see Harley Cameron finally come back.
yes,
Athena wins this, which is surprising because she's been the ROH champion forever.
right. I was surprised by that and glad to see it. Because apparently they got plans for pushing her a little more.
I thought Statlander was going to win this thing for sure because it just made sense. But I mean, Athena makes sense too, I guess. We then get a
Also,
copious amount.
it's something. What's the Spider Girl? What is the deal with her? I'm not real. Thekla,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember how to pronounce her name though.
right? Okay,
Um, I've never been able to. Worth noting also that after this match, we got a copious amount of stalling. Uh, this was a thing on this show. There was a lot of waiting around, um, because I do think the four way was shorter than the Adam Cole match was supposed to be. So there was a lot of, oh shit, we have a lot of time. What do we do with it? There was a lot of that going on here. At least until we got to the last three matches. That was kind of the theme here.
Sure.
We then get into the Hurt Syndicate versus the Patriarchy versus Jet Speed, which is Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey.
This was a nice segment. I expected I expected the championship to stay.
And it did. The angle we got after was kind of the more newsworthy thing. The Hurt Syndicate win. The match is fine. It's 19 minutes. The match is fine. I had no real problem with it.
Real good match.
Uh, it would appear that either Christian Cage is turning babyface, Adam Copeland is turning heel, or Nick Wayne just went super heel. Uh,
Yep.
because after the match, Nick Wayne turns on Christian finally. It felt like this has been coming for 2 years.
With the support of that selfish bitch Mother Wayne. I always knew that she was a bad person. I could
You
just tell.
loved her 2 weeks ago.
I did not. I barely tolerated her. That Jezebel.
You're you're just a heel. Anyway, they were late on the trigger, but here comes Adam Copeland finally. Uh he gets he has that
Cope. Yeah.
he has that nailed bat and he comes out and he starts swinging it around. He's whacking people with it. And he tells Christian to go find himself.
Correct. Now, if you remember, the last time they embraced in the middle of the ring with an attempt at reconciliation, Christian said to him, and I quote, "Go fuck yourself." So this time, Cope says to him, "Go find yourself." I love this whole segment. I really like it. It's got all the drama of friendship and betrayal and
I
loyalty
hope they win the tag titles.
and oh, that'd be
I
great.
I hope they
Like,
win the tag
this
titles.
is the type of melodrama that pro wrestling does so well when it's really done well. And if I got friends that say, "Well, it's just a soap opera for men," and I'm like, "Well, you're damn right it is, and it's a damn good one. It's a lot of fucking fun." You know,
It is a soap opera for men, but you know what? We're men, and we like this soap opera.
yes, yeah. I was very at this point. I'm thinking, wow, this show is turning out to be a whole lot better than I expected.
You texted me at one point and said, "Holy shit, this show is
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
good."
surprised because we were about four matches in, and there weren't any real stinkers at all.
And then we got like 3 hours into the show, and you texted me like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Yeah, that's right.
And then we get into what they were calling a triple main event of Tony,
Correct.
the first of three, which was Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné. This match was fucking incredible.
Best match of Mercedes Moné so far in AEW.
And
I
one of
did
Tony Storm's
I
best
did not
matches.
expect a lot from her. The first few matches seemed to confirm that I was right. The last several matches, however, I'm glad to be proven wrong. She's really hitting her stride. This was very good.
I told you when she came in, though, that it had been a long time since she worked full time and that it was going to take her some time to get
This
back into it.
I thought that these two worked so well together.
This match was great. This would have maybe been the best match on any other show. It was not the best match on this show. It would have been the best match on a lot of other pay per views this year. WWE or AEW, doesn't matter. It would have been the best match on WrestleMania for sure.
I can't honestly say that I've ever seen Tony Storm match that was actually bad. I mean, some were better than others depending on the opponent, but seems to me like she's always able to pull off a good match with just about any opponent.
I want to point out because this happened at All In last year. Do you remember at All In last year when Mariah May beat Tony Storm for the women's title and we thought it was a mistake? I want to
Right,
point out how wrong we were about that a year
right,
later.
right.
How wrong were we? We were like, oh, to Mariah May. Oh, what the fuck is this? Blah, 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 blah. We were fucking wrong.
Right, and Mariah May, we'll be talking about her again here shortly because she also had a role to play this weekend,
Just not on this show.
not under that name. But it seems to me like the transition for her happened so fast. There's usually like a lengthy non-compete clause when these contracts run out, but apparently those are a thing of the past according to court rulings. So right now, when they leave one company, they might be show up a month later.
AEW's non-compete is shorter than WWE's. That is worth noting. WWE's is 90 days. I think AEW's is 45.
But
So,
I think they've had to rework those because some of those were ruled illegal in some court jurisdictions.
yeah, it gets a little weird with developmental deals because
I'm sure it does.
developmental deals have always had a really short non-compete anyway. Like if they released Mariah May tomorrow, which they're
Right.
not gonna do. Um,
Well, I
granted,
also just think that this show went so well, and it proves that the idea that you hear that AEW does good pay per view. This especially is probably the best one they've done.
in a long time.
Yes, in a very long time.
This is probably in their top three shows, I think, like ever,
Right.
for sure. We then had what might be match of the year.
Correct.
I'm I'm not fucking kidding.
Now, just for
This
the
show
sake of clarity, there are so many titles in AEW. This was a unification match between the Continental title,
and the international title.
and the Continental title was held by Kenny
Oh,
Omega, and the
no, the
International
continental title was
title
held by
by
Okada.
Okada.
The international title was held by Omega.
Okay, all right, yeah. And boy,
And
I
this
tell you,
was
with the intro, with all these guys in the robes and the chanting and stuff, the cult of Kenny reminded me of the Undertaker's Druids and all that stuff.
this match was everything it was built up to be and then some. I
Yeah,
mean, fucking incredible. Okada wins.
right,
I'm not going to spoil anything more than that. Go fucking watch this match. It's
right,
30 minutes and it probably could have been another 30
right.
and been fine.
It was really, really well done, and I was so glad that they brought in Jim Ross to help call on this too. Because he's still got enough juice left in him that he can help call
I
some
thought
of the
JR
really
was
big,
really good
big
on this
matches.
show.
What's that?
I thought JR was really good for what they had him do here,
I
by
tell
the
you
way.
what, for a guy who suffered with Bell's palsy and all his other health problems, he really looks pretty damn good.
And I thought he did a really good job on this show. They only had him call the last two matches, but he's dealing with cancer, so I guess I can't bitch too
But
much.
I tell you what, it's kind of hard to keep him down.
Yeah, he's an old Sooner. It's hard to keep him down. Anyway, this match was fucking great. Go watch it. This
Yes.
match was worth the price of admission on its own. Everything you expected it to be, and then some. And then we
I
got,
was I, I was blown away.
as a rule, I don't like death matches, but for a death match, Omega versus Hangman was pretty fucking good.
Yes. They had all kinds of gimmicks, did they not?
Yes. So Russ, last week, I know the file got screwed up, and I don't think we ever got the show up because I couldn't get the file to Damon because it was screwed up. But me and you both thought Moxley was retaining the title.
Yes, we did, and I'm very, very glad that we were wrong.
So a lot of news coming out of this match. So this was basically AEW's version of Bloodline Rules. There was so much goddamn interference here. Marina Shafir is a frickin' trooper. This woman took more bumps in this match than I think a lot of the guys did.
minor complaint from a cameraman had a bad angle. After some of the initial blood, a camera angle clearly showed
Yeah.
Hangman stuffing something into. Yeah, and it just a little. I know that those are not intentional, but you and I have seen enough. That's not going to take us out of the story for too long. Just
No, because we're we've seen so much shit that it's
a
like,
little,
oh
a
well.
little, a little nitpick a thing. You know. But I tell you what, they had. Uh, I don't like the fake looking barbed wire that they use because it doesn't really have any barbs on it. Uh,
Yeah.
I understand they can use more realistic barbed wire and really, really rip and tear their flesh to pieces. I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying that
Worth noting also the
for
Texas State
deathmatch,
Athletic
I
Commission.
mean, you either go all out or you don't. Don't fake it, with sugar glass and stuff because people immediately notice that. And these are minor quibbles because still, it wasn't my favorite style of match, but the way they ended it, the ending of the match made up for it. They brought together the ending exactly the way I wanted them to. It was very good.
If this is the last time we're going to see the Death Riders, or at least for a while, I would imagine John Moxley, the reason they had the finish be as brutal as it was is because he's getting ready to take some time off. I don't know that, but I would assume.
Well, I feel like he's earned it, and I feel like, and sometimes it sounds like I all I do is not John Moxley, especially since I used to be such a big fan of Dean Ambrose. But this whole concept of locking the title away and doing it the way they did, this whole story arc, I just felt like it went on too long.
It
You know,
made sense they made it make sense at the end.
yeah,
I give them credit. By the
overall, I think it
end,
would have been better if it was about a 6 month story arc instead of what we got.
nine,
It
nine
just
months.
felt like too long, but I'm very glad the way that they brought it to a close. And I was glad we had some. You want to mention the surprising returns we had? Some really,
So
really nice
at one
ones.
point, Hangman was dead, and Moxley just kept getting up and just kept. He hit a Death Rider on a bed of nails, all this shit.
Right,
Like everything was just going the wrong way for Hangman. And then
right.
all of a sudden, we start hearing this wind noise. Like, what the fuck is that? It's fucking Darby Allin shooting a video from the top of Everest.
Yep,
And he's like, I'm coming to take everything from you, Moxley. And Moxley just looked really confused. And I was confused too because he didn't come out right away.
right.
There was no music. All of a sudden, the camera pans up. Darby is rappelling from the fucking ceiling like it's Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10.
Right. Well, but the first thing I thought of was Sting. The crow Sting repelling from the ceiling. That's what that bringing to mind the whole vibe of this show for me. It brings to mind the style of the way the show was put together of some of the best years of WCW.
This did feel like a WCW show at certain times, didn't it?
It really did, and I mean that in every way as a compliment, because
This
it's
fr-
just it's a different style than WWE. It feels different. It's a style of wrestling that it's it's unique. This was very well done.
so Darby comes down from the ceiling. He starts fighting off the Death Riders who've come out to try and kill this thing off. And then Brian fucking Danielson in a Blue Panther mask.
Unbelievable.
He hits a Busaiku knee. They chase the Death Riders off. One person they forgot about because she died on a table spot like 30 minutes earlier. Marina Shafir went through a table very early in this match and did not get
Right.
up again for a
Right.
long time.
Right.
She finally gets up, and I'll tell you
And
what,
then part of the match, she was handcuffed too by
that was right at the end, yeah.
that was toward the end. That was Prince Nana, wasn't it?
Right. So at this point,
Sorry, I'm getting ahead.
Osprey had gone through a table and gotten carted out. So Osprey's dead. Uh Hangman looks like he's about to be dead. Moxley is half dead, but he's still walking somehow. Marina Shafir had been dead for 25 minutes. So it's like, what the fuck? Up gets Marina Shafir, and I don't know if this Death Rider storyline helped anyone more than her because she has gotten so over as a heel because of this whole thing. And I
Right.
know that was the goal.
I know that. Well, exactly, because she always struck me as being someone who probably doesn't have a lot of promo skills, but she seems like a really valuable player if they can figure out how to use her right.
And this whole thing has been used as a vehicle to get her over, and it worked. And Wheeler,
Yes.
Yuta, and Wheeler and Claudio finally came back. And no, wait, that they didn't come back. Sorry, that's my mistake. So anyway, she gets taken out again by when Moxley tells her to go get the key for the briefcase because he's going to take the title out and whack Hangman with it. As if that's going to keep Hangman down at this point. He's gotten up from everything else. Maybe he was going to try to bludgeon him with the title. Who knows? Anyway, she goes to get the key. She ends up getting handcuffed by Prince Nana, who does his little dance and taunts her. She takes a swing at him and promptly misses. And then it is at this point, John Moxley gets really mad and starts saying fuck a lot.
Yeah.
So finally, they battle to the outside. They battle back into the ring. Swerve slides a chain in for Hangman, and Swerve helps the Hangman. Buckshot with the chain wrapped around his arm. Moxley stays down for a 9 count. He gets up. He ends up getting choked out with the chain, tapping out right before he loses consciousness. And
Yes.
Hangman Adam Page is a 2-time AEW World Champion. To end what was really, if they could have done this show any better, I don't know how. Um, Especially considering the circumstances around it with the Adam Cole injury.
Right.
This show
Yeah.
ends at 8 o'clock.
Very well done. Very, very well
This
done.
show ended an hour into Saturday night's main event, so let's go to that. Let's see what
Correct.
WWE did on this Saturday. This show sucked.
It was a disappointment right off the back, and I've said it before, and I'm not meaning to disrespect the guy. I do have respect for the legacy of Jesse Ventura. However, when at this point, when you're letting the guy come on and talk on Saturday night's main event, you're you're not helping his legacy. I sound like I'm being a prick. No, I'm saying he obviously sounds like a guy who really can't quite do it anymore. Am I wrong or am I being an asshole?
You're right.
Okay, so let's give the guy a break and not, you know, maybe he shouldn't be embarrassing himself.
So I say this show sucked. It did not suck. It was just disappointing for the first half. The first
So,
hour, the first hour of this show was a drag. It was almost like they knew the AEW show was still going and they said, we can't fucking do anything
right.
because we're getting our asses kicked.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, they've been on this whole idea that AEW they're not serious competition. We don't regard them as real competition. Well, when you book 4 shows, opposite their biggest show of the year, it sounds like you're a little nervous, and you might have reason to be. Saturday night's main event. This was their 40th anniversary of the show, and it it was a disappointment.
There was two matches worth watching on this show, and they were both after All In ended. They were, yeah. Anyway, so we had Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. This match was good for what we saw of it, but it was only 8.5 minutes, and only about 5 of that was on TV. So again, this match was good, but unfortunately, it was to set up the tag match that they would confirm after Randy won, which was Jelly Roll and Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Holy shit. I am not looking forward to that at all.
I know, and the irony, and the irony of Logan Paul bitching about celebrities coming in and ruining wrestling. People from outside the wrestling world coming in and violating the purity of the sport.
Go fuck yourself, pal.
I mean, yeah, the irony
Come
is
on.
pretty wild, you know. Now, here's
And
the
then,
thing, too. You know, they're already starting to play this up on social media about how this is a personal feud between Jelly Roll and Logan Paul. And I mean, this stuff is all it's all scripted for public consumption. You know what I mean?
yep. Well, then we had Solo
And
Sikoa and
Jelly
Jimmy.
Roll's music is okay,
Yeah, it's
but
fine.
I don't know how good a wrestler he's going to be.
Then we had Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. This was another case of they just didn't really have enough time. That was the case for the first two matches, really. They just didn't have enough time. Well, the first match was hampered by the fact that Jelly Roll existed, but, you know. Anyway, Solo retains the U.S. title. Anyway, the second most noteworthy thing on this show was the next match. We had LA Knight and Seth Rollins. This ends
Wow.
in fucking disaster.
This
Uh,
really, this really hurt my heart when I saw this. I felt so bad for Seth Rollins.
so, to give you an idea, I watched the second half of this show first because I didn't want to turn All In off. And I was like, well, whatever. I'll just watch whatever's left of Saturday night's main event after All In's over. So I saw the last two matches live. And when I tell you I knew Seth was hurt the second he
Oh,
landed,
well, that's it. You see him land, you knew right away. He just didn't
before
land
he even
right.
started hopping around, before any of that, you knew, boom, he lands, he's hurt. He starts hopping around. And I will give both of these guys so much fucking credit for being fucking professionals here because they called this finish on the fly. Seth was supposed to win this match. Seth was supposed to go over clean here. Um, that doesn't happen. They call a a finish on the fly. LA Knight wins. The severity of Seth's injury is unknown, but if he's going to be out for some dramatic amount of time, they're going to have to find something to do with that Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, that means that, you know, after just a few weeks suffering the injury of Liv Morgan, once again, they need to rewrite SummerSlam. And once again, in addition to every wrestler that's affected, they also now how do you deal with Money in the Bank?
How do you deal with Money in the Bank? How do you deal with one of your biggest stars potentially being out long term?
Well, this isn't the first time. You know, I hope he's able to rehab and come back, but at the same time,
Yeah, but
if
Russ, he's never been out for more than 3 months, 3 or 6 months. He's never been out longer than that. If he's out for a year, they're in trouble. I
well,
mean, really.
I mean, hey, you can't keep going forever. What I'm saying is, if it's in his best interest to not come back, then I hope that him and Becky can live off their money and raise their kids and have a good life. You know.
Well, LA Knight gets the win here. I would presume whatever spot Seth was supposed to be in at SummerSlam, that will be where LA Knight goes. I
Well, I tell you what, this could
have to
end up
think.
being to his advantage. You know.
Well, everything happening right now has kind of been to LA Knight's advantage, like one
Right.
way or another, because like
Also, with now with the major star taken out and voids needing to be filled, let's keep in mind WWE that one guy who's really over with the crowd is Karrion Cross Find something big and important and exciting to do with
This
him.
might be like everything is kind of going LA Knight and carrying Cross's way in terms of the way the cards are being played right now. I don't know. Um, we then had Goldberg's best match in 25 years.
Well, okay, I'll buy that.
This was fucking great.
Yeah, it really
This was
was. But
15 minutes.
here's the thing. According to what I read, they, because of Seth's injury, they go to their final segment with like 26 minutes left in the show, and you got a fucking Bill Goldberg match. You better find something to fill the time.
Normally, you're shitting yourself because you have no clue what the fuck you're going to do.
Because a Bill Goldberg match is about 2-3 minutes max.
Normally.
Yeah,
But all the credit in the world to this fucking Gunther guy.
yeah. What a pro. I tell you what, he never ceases to amaze me. Not only this, I don't know if you saw the video of his wedding, the wedding party, but my God, that motherfucker can dance. He's got rhythm, man.
I did not see that.
Oh, yeah. That guy's got rhythm. He can go. He is a multi-talented man. It wouldn't surprise me. I heard that he was singing Austrian folk songs when he was back there. The guy can wrestle, sing, and dance. That's what you call a triple threat right there.
Anyway, Gunther retains after Goldberg passes out, and almost all of Goldberg's retirement speech was either in a commercial break or they cut him off,
Right.
which was fucking hilarious.
Well, I think it's interesting too. It's interesting how they retired him, because he didn't get pinned and he didn't tap out, but he lost. So he went out flat on his back, but at the same time, you know, he didn't tap out. He didn't get pinned.
And I'll tell you what, his kid, Gage,
Yeah.
holy shit, that guy's a monster.
Well, apparently he was saying that he thought they for the time being at least they should only let Braun Breaker use that spear,
Yeah.
and he's probably got a good point. And the other thing about Braun Breaker, my God, what's the deal? I think he should lay off the tanning. He looks darker than Hulk Hogan.
But I'm telling
Just
you
an
what,
observation. He looks like he's been tanning a lot.
so Gage Goldberg, I want to talk about this kid because this kid,
I don't know anything about him. Is he a wrestler in training?
so here's the deal with him. First of all, what a pro for the way he handled the part they had him be involved in here because they had him walk his dad to the ring. And then they had him sit ringside. Gunther shoves him. He jumps the barricade. And he sold this security tackling him like $1 million. This kid plays college football at Colorado. He's not a bum. He's playing D1 college football at Colorado for Deion Sanders. He's
Right.
not a bum. And I'm telling you what, I think we're going to get Gage Goldberg versus Gunther in a couple of years.
That could be very interesting.
If Gage doesn't end up in the NFL, which he could, who knows? Anything can happen. He redshirted at Colorado last year. We'll see. But
All
if he
right.
doesn't end up in the NFL, let's just say he doesn't because the chances of it in reality are pretty low. Just based off statistics, it's low. I don't
Right.
know how good the kid is. Gunther versus Gage Goldberg could sell out a fucking building.
Well, give a couple years to build him up. That'd be great.
And then finally, we get to the last show of the weekend. I know this show that we're doing right now is dragging on forever, but we're getting there, I promise.
Evolution number 2.
This show, outside of the Battle Royal, over delivered in every fucking way possible.
It did over deliver. I didn't expect as much. I agree the Battle Royale was the weakest part of the show, but that has been the case in WWE show going all the way back to the WWF. The Battle Royale was always the weakest part of the show. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, not only was all the wrestling on this show really good, but this show was booked incredibly well. This
Yes.
show starts with Lyra Valkyria, Bailey, and Becky Lynch in a triple threat for the women's intercontinental title. This was great.
All three looked great, worked great. It was, I was
Becky
blown
won
away
on
at
like a
how
half
good this was.
crucifix roll through that looked awesome.
That finish was something I had never seen before. I love that when I couldn't wait to watch the replay because it was something unique. It was something so slick, perfectly done,
Becky retains the title. This match was fucking awesome.
in a
Please go
very,
watch this.
very clever manner, you know. She really did well. I was very, very happy to see both Becky and Bailey kind of give Lyra her comeuppance. You know, you're good, you're on the rise, but you're still a kid. You'll be great in 10 years, but you ain't there yet.
And then we had an NXT women's title match. This was Jordan Grace and JC Jane. We did get to see Mariah May.
Yes, we did. Or
Thank
Blake
God.
Monroe, as they call her now.
I'm still going to call her Mariah May. Fuck you. Uh,
I called
um,
her turn there at the end. I saw it coming, didn't
oh,
you?
so did I.
It's
Yeah.
pretty blatantly obvious, wasn't it?
Well, all the credit in the world to Jordan Grace. She carried JC Jane to a pretty good little match here. JC,
Exactly. And Jordan Grace carried the match. Make no mistake about it.
oh, fuck yeah, she did.
Make absolutely no mistake about it. You know, like I said, my wife, who is a more casual wrestling fan, she observes things that I don't as far as the athleticism. And her observation was that one Jordan Grace there, she doesn't look like any of the other women. She
No,
doesn't wrestle like any of the women. She's totally unique. I said, that's it. And she's a veteran. And I was really hoping they'd put the title on her. I think she deserves it. I think it's
I
overdue.
think she's going to go to the main roster. I don't think they have a choice now. With everybody going down the way that, because people are getting hurt like crazy right now, they've got to call her up.
I believe so.
Like, JC Jane is really good on the mic, but her ring work needs help. And Jordan Grace is just really fucking good at everything. and this
She's
ends
been good for a very long time.
and this ends in a schmoz, but it kind of had to because in no world is JC Jane believably beating Jordan Grace. In no way.
Yeah.
Not clean anyway. And Blake Monroe turns on Jordan and costs her the title.
So if we're going to get the Mariah May versus
My presumption is it's going to be
Jordan
Mariah
Grace,
May and Jordan Grace. That would be my presumption.
but
Potentially at the
I don't want to have to watch NXT to see that feud. I want to see that feud on the main roster.
well, I still need to go back and watch Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page because apparently that match was
I haven't watched that yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
apparently that match was fucking insane. Apparently those two went out there and killed each other. I have no idea. I haven't seen it yet. I want to. I need to go back and watch it. I was going to watch it today. I just lost track of time.
I might watch that when I get home tonight.
I might do the same thing after the show's over. Then we had the four-way for the women's tag titles. This match was way better than it had any fucking right to be.
Oh, I
Uh,
know. And
Judgment
I'm
Day,
not the ones I'm not familiar with is Raya and Saul Ruka. Know all virtually nothing about them.
Sol Ruka
I
did a really good job in this match, honestly. I don't like her that much, but she did a really good job here.
what's that?
I'm not a big Sol Ruka fan, but she was really good
Okay,
in this match.
right. I'm a huge fan of the Kabuki Warriors, of the teams that wrestled here. They're far and away my favorite. I knew they were not going to win. I didn't expect them to win. I expected the title to be retained.
And it was.
Charlotte and Alexis are an interesting team. Charlotte seems to be loosening up, having a little more fun, smiling once in a while, which is good, you know, because uh, she's good. I think that she just sometimes she just comes across a little cold, you know?
Well, the two MVPs of this match were really Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez. If
Yes.
if two Raquel was really good too, but if two women carried this match, it was Alexa and Roxanne.
Right.
Whatever ring rust Alexa had when she first came back, she has knocked that off because Alexa's been really good for a while again,
Right.
and Roxanne and
Exactly.
Raquel retain. And
I don't know what kind of plans they got for the Kabuki Warriors, but I'm glad I want to. Both of those women, I think, are so good. Asuka, she would be on my list of top 10 all-time favorite women wrestlers, somewhere in that top 10 for
and
sure.
Kyrie's got to be close.
She's this, ever since the first time I saw her was on that, that women's tournament they had a few years
The Mae
ago,
Young Classic.
the Mae Young Classic, I believe she won the first year,
I think so.
first or second. I know she one of those, and that was a good time for the women's division. I
Then
did
we
not
have
expect the Evolution overall to be as good a show as it was.
Then, speaking of best matches somebody's had in 20 years, Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton. This was fucking great.
This was way better than I thought it would
It
be,
was
and
only 8.5 minutes, and they did a
personally,
lot.
I credit Trish Stratus with a lot of that. I think that
I don't.
I do because I'm not as high on Tiffany Stratton as you are.
It's not just me, dude. Everybody's that high on Tiffany Stratton.
Everybody except Uncle Russ.
Okay, I will give Trish credit for one thing because I almost guarantee you she's the one who put the match together.
Well,
And
I think that it might have been produced by Shayna Baszler.
I
Some of
wouldn't be
these,
surprised.
which I think is great. I'm glad they can't use her in the ring. I'm glad they're using her knowledge for something.
Anyway, Tiffany retains. This match was fucking awesome.
It
Um,
was. I'll give her credit. When I say I don't like her, it's not her in-ring ability at all. It's her persona. It's her gimmick.
which they've been tweaking.
Yeah, they've been
They're working
tweaking.
on it. They're working on
They've
it.
been tweaking it, and I'd probably like it if I was a tweaker.
You mean you're not?
No, no, I'm not. I like to sleep.
I had to make fun of Uncle Russ somewhere. Anyway, then we had a no holds barred match that it was announced the night before would have Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. The crowd went crazy. I didn't give a shit. Um,
I enjoyed this. I thought it was a
this was
pretty good
fun.
outing for them. I think that Naomi is one of the people that can make Jade look really good.
And she did here. And Naomi loses this match, but her night was not over. We will talk
Right.
about that in a minute. I'm sure there's a lot of people
Exactly.
watching this show, kind of just waiting for us to talk about that.
Right.
Uh, and I assure you, we will talk a lot about that main event because that main event was crazy. Let's talk about the Battle Royale for a second there, Russ.
Well, we had quite a few different people here. I was surprised at the way it ended.
I was surprised at the lack of surprises.
Overall, it was about what I expected for a battle royale. I want to say something about the WNBA gal, Lash Legend. She was, I can't remember her own name. She played for the Seattle Storm for a year or so. She's one that they got to find a better way to use her because she has potential that is not being met. I don't think she's horrible, but I also think she's a lot of unreal. I don't think she's that good. She's better. I'm surprised they featured as much, but a lot of people just hate her. They can't stand her. I think she's got something unique, but they're not quite hitting it yet. They need to
Well,
find somebody to better work with her.
the final four of this Battle Royale, no, I'm not kidding, was Stephanie McCurr, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, and Lash Legend.
Terrible name, Last Legend. Who the hell came up with that?
Anyway, this battle royale could have very easily ended in disaster and almost did.
Right,
Uh, thank God somebody threw Nikki Bella out. Don't remember who it was.
right,
Don't care.
right,
Because if Nikki would have won this match, I would have been pissed.
right.
Lash and Stephanie throw Naya out. Thank God she didn't win this. And then Stephanie bounces Lash's head off the apron a few times, and Lash dies.
Correct.
Um, and Stephanie wins, and then cuts a promo in Spanish. Mediocre battle royale went on way too fucking long, and we move on to a match I liked a whole lot more than that, which was Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky.
This was very good. Very well done.
This was another match of the year contender.
Very. This was their best match so far.
This was the best match on the show. This was one of the three best matches of the entire weekend. This was fucking great. I have nothing bad to say about this match. No complaints. These two went about 24 minutes, and then all of a sudden, both they do a double down on a superplex. And mind you, they've already done a crazy spot in the crowd where EO jumped off production equipment and landed on Rhea. Rhea's kicked out
Well,
of everything.
they did a referee bump, and in typical WWE fashion, when a referee gets bumped, they're fucking comatose for at least 10 minutes, and no medical staff comes to check on them. Absolutely, they just leave them laying there in a heap,
Well,
and
there
they
was a
went all over the
moonsault.
arena.
The moonsault from EO gets a 2.9, and then all of a sudden Naomi's music hits again.
Yes,
And Jessica Carr, the referee, all the credit in the world to her because she sold this like a million fucking
yes,
dollars.
she did.
She looked up the ramp like, oh fuck. Am I
That's
about to
right.
have my hands even more full than they already are? Holy shit. And she took that bump like $1 million too. All the credit in the world to that rep.
All right,
Anyway, here comes Naomi with the bandage on her nose because she got her nose gashed open. Here comes Naomi. She cashes in, whacks Io with the briefcase, shoves Rhea out of the ring, hits her finish. 1, 2, 3. Naomi wins the title and runs the fuck away.
right, exactly.
And the crowd for this whole main event, the crowd was great all night. But for this main event, the crowd was incredible.
Right.
I want to give credit as well to Io and Rhea for the way they sold the post match because they
Yeah.
looked at each other like they did a close up on Rhea at one point, and she looked at Io and said, "What the hell happened?"
Very. Yeah. They did a really good job of selling the story.
Rhea looked at Io and legitimately said, "What the hell happened?"
Right.
Because and Io looked at her and said, "I don't know." Like neither one of them could believe it. Like they didn't know what happened.
Yes.
I'm wondering with the way Rhea reacted. I'm wondering if she kind of forgot there was a cash in coming. That's what it kind of looked like.
It was great.
It legitimately looked like it would be believable if somebody told you, "Oh, Rhea didn't know Naomi was going to cash in. She had no idea."
Hmm.
But when Naomi's music hit, Io was sitting up on the mat, Rhea was laying down. And when Naomi's music hit, Io kind of did the oh shit and like laid back for a second, like, oh fuck, here we go.
Right.
We're fucked. And
Oh,
Naomi
I'm glad they got plans for Naomi.
Naomi wasn't exactly fresh either, mind you, because she just got the shit beat out of her by Jade Cargill.
Correct.
So she's not exactly a spring chicken running down there. But Io and Rhea had just been killing each other for 25 minutes. So I guess she was fresh, the freshest of the three. And what a fucking great match.
Yeah, and a good show. Very good show.
Russ, I give All In an A. I
I'd give
give
it an A too.
I give Saturday Night's main event a C minus.
Yeah,
Maybe a C just because the Goldberg match was fucking great. And then I give Evolution a B plus
yeah. I got to take a few points off.
for that battle royal.
I know that yeah. Well, they did this stuff. They had to stop in the middle for some comedy spots. I hate when they do that in the middle of long matches, battle royals, royal rumbles, that type of thing. It takes me out of it.
A whole match.
But overall, a pretty good weekend of wrestling. I think we've got a few weeks now. I think we don't go back to a premium live event until we go to France in August, sometime in August.
No, we got SummerSlam in like 2 weeks.
But I thought is it two? I thought it was 3 weeks away still.
Whatever it is.
All
Anyway,
right.
that's a 2 night show. Let's not
All right.
forget that's a 2 night show now. That me and Uncle Russ are hopefully going to be at next year, by the way. Um,
That's the plan.
yes, me and Uncle Russ are planning to go to SummerSlam. We will do some version of a podcast
That's
after
right.
both
We're
nights.
going to be in the front row and we're going to
I
run into
will
the
not.
ring in the main event and become the tag team champions.
Bold of you to assume WWE will book the tag titles that strongly.
Yeah.
Russ, the show of the weekend was All In, but I thought Evolution was an incredible show by all metrics. I hope they do this again next year.
One
There
thing we
will
did not mention, I'm absolutely delighted for the return of Vicky Guerrero to WWE. I
that
think
was a
she,
one night only deal, but
are you sure just one night? I was hoping they'd bring back and use her a little bit.
no, they're not going to do that.
I always find her very entertaining. Always enjoyed her a lot.
They're not going to do it. It's
Okay.
unfortunate because I wish they would.
Well, it's interesting how many wrestlers have said that working with Vicky was some of the funnest time of their career. Because I
Dolph
guess
says that all the time. Nick Nemeth says it all the time.
yeah, this I guess behind the scenes she's just an absolutely delightful person.
Well, unfortunately, doesn't look like she's coming back full time. Also, unfortunate that we didn't get more female legends in that battle royal. I would have loved to have seen a Molly Holly spot somewhere in there.
Oh yeah, Molly
Lita,
Holly, one of the greatest of all time. It
Lita
was
was
good to see. It was good to
backstage.
see the how well that some of the other ladies had aged.
Lita was backstage. I don't know why they didn't use her. Um, who knows? Worth noting also, Wardlow was backstage at All In, as Sean Ross Sapp reported.
Okay. Do you know anything about his lack of use? Has it been injury related or other things?
I know
We
his
got to we got to keep in mind also that some of these guys, professional wrestling isn't a full time gig for some of these guys. They do other things too.
in
Somebody
Wardlow's
even
case.
somebody even told me that they spotted L.A. Knight or whatever his name is on a few in a few films and TV shows.
Well, yeah, he's done acting stuff. Worth noting, a whole bunch of big name guys are about to be out for extended periods because there's a Street Fighter movie being made, and a lot of wrestlers are in that movie.
Interesting because I just a couple of days ago for fun, it's a few years old, but just for fun, I read a comic book crossover, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter, and it's great, big, violent, stupid fun.
Um, I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe's going to be in that. I'm
Well, it looks like Cody Rhodes is in the new the comedy with the Liam Neeson.
he's going to
Uh,
be in a couple movies coming up. He's going to be in Street
Naked
Fighter.
Gun. That they got a new Naked Gun, I guess.
Yeah, he's going to be in Naked Gun, and he's also going to be in Street Fighter.
Okay, very
So he's
good.
going to be out for a while because it doesn't look like Samoa Joe is in Street Fighter. I thought he was. I know he's going to be in something else pretty soon. He's going to be in another movie, or maybe it's another video game. I
Well,
don't remember.
shoot, there's an awful lot of filmmakers that love to work with wrestlers because they say that they're usually the best one-take actors in the business because of the way they do promos. They can know how to do something really well in just one or two takes.
Well, that's
So
their
I
life.
appreciate that.
Um, Samoa Joe is going to be in another video game coming up. He's going to be in Deadlock. So, he Samoa Joe's got a lot of side stuff going on, which might be why they did the spot they did yesterday.
Correct.
Because Samoa Joe's got a lot of other projects. Um, he does
Well,
stuff
it's
for Twisted Metal as well.
a lot of these wrestlers have other projects too. If you like hardcore, hardcore music, check out Brody King's band, God's Hate. If you like the hardcore metal type punk, I don't know the exact. There's so many subgenres I can't keep track of them all, but he's the vocalist. If you like the kind of music where it sounds like the vocalist is screaming his head off at you, check him out. You'll like him. His vocal style is conversant with his wrestling style. Brutal. Oh, and can I offer another observation, non-wrestling related?
Yes.
Just if you ever feel the need, if you just want to relax and laugh your ass off for an hour or two, go to YouTube and put four things in the search bar. You put in MLB, 1980s, umpires, and Don Zimmer. And oh my God, I did that the other day, and I tell you, I laughed for a couple of fucking hours. It was so
He is a
hilarious.
fucking character, man. He's a fucking character.
Oh, I mean, that's the most I've laughed. Thought, God, I miss 1980s baseball. I love baseball now, but I miss the for what for me was the golden era.
Well, Uncle Russ, that's going to about do it for us. We just did the longest show we've done since WrestleMania.
Good.
Actually, since WrestleMania last year, I think this is the longest show we've done. Because remember, there was a couple shows that we did with Devlin that were fucking marathons. But
Right.
all right, folks. For those of you that have been following this show for a while, this show is going to feel like a breeze to you because I used to do fucking 4 hour shows all the time, but I haven't done one of these in a while.
All
So
right.
thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back with a normal show next week. Damon, play our fucking music. See you next time.
Yeah.